Hello, America, Internet. I'm here in New York City, obviously, with Mr. Skrillex right here, Sonny. He's had an amazing couple days. #2 on Beatport right now. #2 record on Beatport. How long has it been out?
I think 4 days, if
4
that.
days.
Yeah.
That's hard work.
Yeah, it's
Were you expecting this whole thing to happen? Like, this is pretty nuts, right?
You know, I think in the back of my head, I thought it'd be cool to get, like, you know, because my record is multiple genres. It's, you know, progressive house and dubstep and electro, and I thought it'd be cool to at least chart individually in each subgenre of electronic music, which would have been enough for me. But then I didn't expect to have 8 tracks in the top 10 right now, which is crazy. And the leading track is a dubstep track, and from what I know, that doesn't really happen. And
dubstep is taking over right now. I wanted to actually ask you, because I know, you know, you, like you said, you've done a bunch of different genres of house and progressive music, and, you know, like My Name is Skrillex isn't dubstep, you know, but how do you feel about dubstep? And it's kind of, it's in its prime. It feels like it's in its prime right now.
I feel like it's just at that point.
I
feel like it's just at the point where it's getting there, and I love the music. I love all types of music, and when your platform of making music happens to be your computer, you know, you tend to make music, you know, like dance music, and that's kind of what I gravitated towards. I come from playing hardcore and post-hardcore and screamo or whatever you want to call it, so I always drew to the more, you know, aggro sounding types, but then again melodic stuff as well. So,
yeah. Like, explain to us a little bit at home your musical past.
Yeah, I was in a band called From First to Last. I sang, I did vocals and played a little guitar. It's like kind of forthcoming kind of screamo movement or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I did that from the age 16 actually to right when I turned 19 is when I left the band, and listened to electronic music my whole life. My first records were like everything from industrial to everything on Warp Record I was obsessed with. So Warp Records is a, you know, UK label that, you know, Aphex Twin and Autechre and Square Pusher, all that stuff. And then, you know, I left the band and then started to, you know, write my own songs, did some like pop electro stuff I was singing on for a little bit. I enjoy all types of music and enjoy the fact that I can sit and do everything exactly the way I want to do myself alone. And then, you know, like I was saying before, when you're in a band, you know, you do demos and then you have other members and then you work with producers, which is also really fun and awesome. I did that for years, but it's nice to have everything done. Like there's no process. It's like I make a track and it's done.
There's only one cook in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you think that integrates itself into your music? Because your title track right now reminds me a lot of like I feel like dubstep's like the new punk right now. Like kids mosh to it. It's kind of like this new energy-based movement. So like, do you feel like your old genre crossed into your new genre a little bit?
You see it in the fans that are coming to the shows, the kids that are coming to dubstep shows.
Yeah.
And, you know, I think they're probably the youngest, you know, audience. My friend of mine was at a Rusco show recently in Dallas, and he was the only guy sitting at the bar, like, you know, and I think it's definitely a young audience, which is cool because you speak to a young audience and that's the music they grew up with. I think our high school records are the most personal records of our whole lives. Like, you know, we'll continue to love music, but I think that the music we grew up with are the most influential, right? So hopefully, you know, I got to be a part of a lot of, you know, teenage high school records like in my old band, and it's cool that I can maybe do that again.
So let's talk a little bit about deadmau5 and your involvement with him. How did that relationship start?
I met him through Tommy Lee, who I was working on Tommy's record, Methods of Mayhem, just doing some programming for him. Yeah. Really nice guy, and them are good friends. I met Joel through Tommy, and then Tommy had heard the EP, and then we hung out a lot at Ultra this year, or WMC in Miami. I was out there playing, and he was obviously out there too, and we kept in touch. And then when I gave him the Skrillex EP, and he really, really liked it. And then ever since then, you know, we stayed in touch. And whenever he's in town, we'll hang out. And, and it was finally one day, you know, we had like a long weekend in San Diego, and him and Tommy dropped me off at my apartment, and I was getting out of the car, and he was like, "Yo, I want to release Scary Monsters on Mousetrap," and I was like, "Oh yeah."
He just said it like that? Yeah, well, I guess when you're deadmau5, you can kind of just decide. Well, that's an awesome thing for you. I think you've got a lot of good stuff going on for you right now. So just tell us a little bit about what's next for you. You're on tour right now.
Yeah, well, I'm finishing. I've been on the Dead Mouse tour this whole month of October. Tonight's my last show, and then I have a ton of headlining and co-headlining dates booked up till the end of December. Tomorrow I'm in Vancouver, Neuro, which is pretty cool. I'm a big fan of him, and then the next day I got like a big festival, an Insomniac festival in Dallas with like Afrojack and Excision, one of those things, and then just a ton of headlining stuff, and then going to Europe next year for a bunch of shows, and just getting my whole year kind of booked up right now for touring, which is cool.
That's how you got to do it. Well, congratulations on everything. I think you're only going to get busier. Skrillex, URB.com, New York City. Bye-bye.
Peace.